Obviously, Pep's already been in the media saying that
They're going to win the league.
they're going to win the league, bruv. Do you know how rude that is? But I respect it.
Chelsea are getting away with bloody murder every single week.
When Raya's not playing, we're also seeing the worst of Ramsdale. Arsenal not getting the best version of both of their goalkeepers.
Liverpool with being top of the table, it just does not sitting right with me.
Where we belong.
He's seen his team get smacked up, bro.
By Bournemouth, bro.
By Bournemouth, and he cannot believe it.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're listening, welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I am your host today, Del Estrada, the man of many club faces. This is going to be a fully packed episode. Before we get into it, let me introduce the cast starting from my left, Strives.
Yo, you saying, man? You saying Del Estrada, the man of one club face, man? It's your boy Strive, aka Striver. Yeah, man, I'm just here representing Arsenal as I do. It's been a bit of a tough week, but we'll get into that in the podcast, I'm sure. So let's move on.
You sound down, boy.
Yeah, it gets like that sometimes.
You sound like you wish you were a guy of many club faces.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to appreciate why Del Estrada takes up the stance he does.
Next up, Jerry.
Yeah, it's your boy Joey, top of the table energy today. Just here to claim the praises and the blessings that the Lord has provided for me. Amen.
Finally, Miles.
Yeah, Marley Mar here, Man United supporter. But I don't know, do you know what? I don't know if I'm like in a state of delirium right now, but like I'm chipper. I'm chipper, man. Chip, man. It's a new day. I'm healthy. We gotta give thanks.
He gets like that.
Gotta give thanks, man.
And rock bottom became the foundation I built my life off on.
Drayman's not with us today, so it'll just be the four of us on the podcast. Have I said where they can find us?
On all platforms, man.
Did I say that?
Nah.
But guys.
The sentiment remains.
All of that remains the same.
We're building our presence as well on YouTube as well, guys.
Oh, yeah, we got numbers there, yeah.
We're getting excited about that.
What different thumbnails make, boy. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, and guys, if you're listening, just like what you're listening to, comment if you want to, and then that'll do us a lot. That'll just do us a lot of good.
It'll help us, man. It'll help us. We got kids to feed.
Yeah, man, we love it, man. And I just want to personally say a big thank you to the listeners that have been getting at Joey Nomadic.
They all laughed at me. Look at them now. 2 dead performances in a row from Gandhi Gordon, yeah? No, I'm joking.
We're going to start off with the Luton Man City game. So Man City came into that game off the back of a defeat against Villa, in which Villa were the dominant team and they were the rightful winners. City started the game again on the back foot, going 1-0 down to Luton. And before we get into City's actual performance, have you guys been watching Luton? And what do you think of them so far?
I started paying attention to them after they took point off of us.
Yeah.
They've got good resolve and
Stubborn little team, innit?
Yeah. And Della's player has really come back and made an impact for the team, and obviously Andros Townsend as well, man.
What? Say something. Do you want something there?
I'm just doing a little pirouette in the midfield. Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
No, he's played. He played good in the 3 games.
Have you seen him?
I'm playing. He's been playing.
Yeah.
Where's Dele Alli? But yeah.
I don't know. Actually, why ask him?
I think he's gone back to Nigeria to seek forgiveness for retiring.
Now that Everton's playing good, man, there's no chance.
Oh, man.
There's no chance, man. But yeah, to answer the same question, I think I started paying attention, or I started recognising Luton as a potential force actually after the Tottenham game. When it took I think it was a late surge for Tottenham to get the win over them. So that's when I thought, okay, these guys look a stubborn outfit. So yeah.
So against the top, let's say the top 6 teams, they've actually done pretty decent. I think the only team that's probably beaten them convincingly, ironically, is Chelsea. But everyone else, of Liverpool drew. Arsenal got not lucky, but they scraped the victory.
Who won?
What was the Chelsea score?
I can't remember, but this is when...
Because I remember it was a tough game for Chelsea.
I didn't watch it. I just saw the scoreline.
Only because they were toothless in that game as well. That's why, but it was a very tough game. And Chelsea's defence was quite good, to be fair.
I was going to say, I don't think it was that tough. I remember Sterling was on fire, but I can't remember if Chelsea was at home or if Luton were playing at another ground because Kenilworth wasn't ready yet.
Oh, yeah, maybe because it was an early
I feel like Chelsea
stages.
were at home.
Okay.
I feel like they were at home, but I do remember they had a few chances, like obviously long balls and crosses into the box. But defensively, like you said, Sterling and them lot are having them up, man.
Yeah.
We all agree that they're still going to get relegated, right?
No, that's my next question actually. Because
Okay.
when you look at the other top three, the other teams that came up, I think they are probably better equipped to stay up in the Prem. Like you've got Sheffield United, fair enough, they've got a new manager now, so things may change. And Burnley, I don't feel they may play well, but I don't think they are ready for the Prem. Whereas Luton, you know, it's going to be a hard game. They may get a draw, they may get a lucky win, but Burnley are going to try and go toe to toes with these other big teams. And
Yeah, I think the bottom three they're not moving. They're just going to stay there.
who's the bottom three right now?
What's the
Luton, Luton 18th. Then you got Burnley 19th, and then Sheffield United.
So they're going to go back down.
100%. So it's they've got Luton's got 9 points, Burnley's got 8, Sheffield United got 8.
And I think
And
Luton,
then the closest team to them are Everton with 13 points. So
I think Luton weren't
points clear.
included in that until Sheffield United won and went above them, and obviously Everton won 3 games in a row.
yeah,
So they were with that 10-point deduction until Everton decided to start playing football. They were looking like the most likely team to stay up.
I hear what you're saying. But yeah, they're all going down.
Yeah. For me, it was never in doubt that Everton were going to go down, even though with the 10-point deduction.
Really?
No, because I saw the teams.
Oh.
It's like, and there's still a long way to go.
I felt like they were. I felt like I was ready for them to go down.
Yeah, me
But-
too.
Yeah, you may be ready for them. I don't think
yeah,
they
yeah.
would have went down.
Even
I was
before
kind of hoping just like as a wake up call, man. But they've been playing well, man, since that 10-point deduction, man. It's jarring, man. But that Beto striker needs to go to hell, bro.
He scored though.
You see how he was running?
No, I didn't see that. So obviously, Luton took the lead 1-0. Fanatic was against a run of play, but it was a well taken header from their striker. I can't remember his name.
I think it was Eddie Bale or something he scored against
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yeah. Then City came out in the second half, and again, for some reason, I don't know, I haven't checked why there was no Haaland.
Some stupid fake football injury. That fucking idiot. Sorry.
No, I think it's kind of serious because they said it's not broken, but it's
Nah, I'm taking out my frustration because of fantasy football league, bruv.
But who's your vice captain?
Saka.
Okay. So what was Haaland's injury?
something to do with his foot. It's not a metatarsal, but they said something along the lines of similar to being a broken foot, but it's not a broken foot.
Or like a
How long's he
headline
out for?
They didn't say that. They didn't actually say that. No.
So maybe the referee was actually maybe the referee was kind of doing him a solid, maybe in his mind when he pulled the game back.
No, that's nothing to do with that.
But that was the last challenge, though, isn't it? So
No,
it
but
must have been that challenge that broke his foot.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever it was.
whether the referee stopped or didn't stop it, it didn't.
I hear you.
the
I hear
challenge
what you're
hadn't been
saying,
done.
but maybe that's what the referee saw, and that's why he thought, "Nah, I've got to pull it back."
But you think he saw that? Oh, that's a serious foul right there.
Yeah, I thought, damn man, he must have broke his foot.
You're stupid, man.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't believe he wasn't in the squad. Like all of a sudden, this guy's not fit.
Yeah.
There was no warning, no
Yeah,
nothing.
we didn't hear nothing about that as well.
I was surprised. I only read about it yesterday. I was like, oh, he wasn't playing. Okay.
So how do you think City performed without him? I know they won, but how's the performance without Haaland?
I mean, it was Luton, innit? They obviously went down, but it did look like a comfortable performance for Man City. Man City have got this thing, man. I feel like whenever they're ready to turn it on, I feel like they can just snap their fingers and they've turned it on. And obviously Pep's already been in the media saying that
They're going to win the league.
they're going to win the league, bruv. Do you know how rude that is? But I respect it.
You have to.
They're going World
I
Club.
think that's pressure, man. I think there's pressure to respond. He's not lost that many games in a row. I think he has to say something. So he's just had enough of doing the whole, let me pretend to be humble now, what have you not? Let me just tell you where I'm at. So he just revealed these cards early, and I felt like he had to do something because his team wasn't doing the talking on the pitch. When your team's doing the talking on the pitch, you don't have to say anything. But I felt like he had to do something, but
he took a shot at everybody on his way down.
Yeah, bruv, I respect it. That's my kind of shooter, bruv.
Obviously, there's pressure on us to win because people expect us to win, but all these other guys, they're just here for a run out.
What, as in the other
that's what he
team?
said. Yeah,
I thought you called out old players.
No, it's about Arsenal, Liverpool. Basically, there's not enough. People don't expect them to win the league.
But he also called out ex-pros, didn't he?
Okay, I think. What they were saying about.
He called out Neville. I'm sure he called out Neville,
maybe.
Carragher.
Yeah, I know Carragher got a slug for no reason. I don't even think Carragher was even aiming any shots at him when
Carragher, he fired back.
He fired back,
yeah,
but I don't think he should have held a shot in the first place.
I thought Mika was the one that was unfortunate to get.
What did you say about Micah?
Well, he basically grouped Micah amongst like Carragher and Neville. So it's like, how do you know the difference between the two if you're grouping them with him? Apparently he was getting backlash on him on socials as well.
Who, Pep?
No, Mika.
For what?
I don't know.
Guilty by association.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. City went on to score the 2 goals. Second goal came in by none other than your boy Miles Grealish. That's 2 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, what are you telling me?
In the absence of Doku.
What are you telling me?
No, because you don't rate him highly. You don't think much of him.
No, I didn't say that. I said what I did say. It was that if there was one player on the team that was replaceable, it would be Grealish, and evidently Doku has come and done that. Grealish is good for what he is in that team. A squad player.
How many has Doku?
So he's come in the squad and he's scored goals. He's done what he's supposed to.
Okay.
What's Doku done? He's come and scored goals.
He scored and assisted.
Scored and assisted, yeah. Not as obviously.
And
what your point is, he hasn't. What the point he was trying to make is that he hasn't scored a lot of goals. He hasn't scored a lot of goals, but he's created a lot of assists. So yeah.
How many assists has he got?
I'll get the numbers one sec.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know in one game he got 3.
Okay.
But in the meantime, Grealish has probably, like, in the same amount of time that Nicolas Pepe had at Arsenal, his output was just less than Pepe's. So I get why Marley Marl might believe that Grealish could offer more. But obviously, Grealish has got the treble. So he's won a treble with Man City, so that exonerates him from any kind of...
Yeah, in the treble season, you can stink, but nobody's going to put a...
You know what I mean?
But for the record, let's clarify, he didn't stink.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying, generally, you can stink, and then nobody's going to be doing any inquiry.
It depends. It depends It depends how strong your sense of smell is, innit? So, I mean, when you say he didn't stink by most people's measures, but depending on if you're going to judge him the same way some people have judged other football players in similar positions to him, then he may have stunk.
No, but it is a bit relative, because obviously if you got a striker that's banging 100 goals, whatever, then the requirement isn't for you to come in chipping with that many goals. But when Pepe was at Arsenal, there wasn't a guy who was slamming in goals like that. And
Aubameyang was banging in goals at that time.
But not at the point where it can replace other teammates' need for goals, like Haaland, for example. So do you know, it is... I don't know if you agree with that.
I hear what you're trying to say, but I just feel like we had a talisman, they had a talisman, the main talisman, and I feel like both was on job. And the way I look at it is, you look at ROI, in it, return on investment, and Pepe, he won a cup with, we won a major honour with Arsenal, and he assisted the winning goal.
Let's not go completely off track.
I know we're not going off track, but I just want to just
you lost me at major honour, bro.
No, I mean, an FA Cup is regarded as a major honour, like
a major domestic.
But it's
come on, that's a major honour, bro. To wrap up the whole Grealish and Pepe thing, it just comes down to the manager's preference.
Yeah,
Pepe did enough to stay in that team, but obviously Arteta didn't like him. It's that simple. He produced, but Arteta wanted something else.
But some people would say that Pepe stunk at Arsenal, right?
Yeah, that's football based on opinions.
He got a fair amount of chances at Arsenal, though, didn't he?
Nah, I don't think
in Europe.
I don't think he got enough, and he performed in Europe.
I don't think he got enough under Arteta.
Yeah, under Arteta.
I'm talking about in Europe under Arteta.
Yeah, but it's...
But then not to stay too long on this, but when you're playing in Europe, you're playing with you're playing with the B team.
Yes,
but you also done well in that side. But he never got an opportunity to play.
Okay,
a lot of the time with like the first team.
Yeah, okay.
So that's that. So if you're judging a player, it's very difficult. So you're coming now. Oh, but you're playing with the B team. Like, let me play with the big boys.
Yeah, fair enough.
Context matters, definitely. But yeah, ultimately, like, let's get back onto Grealish. I was just saying, I don't think Grealish stunk, but I'm just saying, by some people's measures, you could argue that he did, just because I've seen the argument for other players.
Yeah, I don't think he stunk.
No, there was a period where everybody was talking about the price tag, and
that was his first season. But the second season, he
didn't. Even my criticism, it's not saying that he stinks. It's just saying that he's replaceable, bruv, in a great team that's won a treble.
Yeah, of course.
So what are you saying? Is it his redemption arc at the moment, Della?
No. I just wanted to make just bring it to light that he just scored 2 goals. He's doing what he's meant to do, and not to stay too long on this. Grealish is never going to be a Doku.
Damn right.
And, Grealish is going to be cutting inside, maybe get a foul, slow the game down. So maybe the requirement that the manager wants him in may be a bit different from someone like a Doku, hence why he bought Doku.
I think so.
But personally, I actually think maybe you should move Grealish in the centre of the park, because playing him on the left is a bit too predictable that he's always going to cut in. Whether it's when he's in the centre, he can go left and right.
Who loses their place? As a starter, or that's where you just...
No, you could. Obviously, KDB's coming to the end of his tenure soon with his injury, so maybe...
So Grealish replace KDB, is that the headline we're going for?
Definitely not, but I'm saying there's options, so you can move him and Foden in the centre, and they can interchange between left and centre. Let's move on to another of Luton's visitors. That Arsenal visited Luton midweek. Tricky game. Arsenal managed to get the last minute winner from Declan Rice. But before we move on to the actual game against Aston Villa, I think Strav, last week you mentioned that, or you said boldly that you think Arsenal are going to win the league.
Yeah.
So to your claims, what do you like? How much of a hindrance do you think the goalkeeping situation will impact Arsenal in winning the league?
It's definitely gonna be a very big contributing factor. One that was compounded by the fact that when I saw Alisson Becker's return in Liverpool's game and the impact that he made in that game, it really did bring home how important it is to have a keeper to that kind of quality. So I definitely think it's a massive contributing factor. I don't blame Arteta for this like a lot of people do. I just think that this is just the level of keepers that we've got. I think Ramsdale and Raya, I've always believed there's not much in it between them, but obviously one of the keepers pander more towards Arteta's style, so I'm not gonna kick up a massive fuss about it. But yeah, Raya had a stinker above.
When you say panders to the manager's style model, in what sense? They're kind of similar, no?
Yeah, they're kind of similar.
You can see the difference between them.
What would you say the glaring call-outs are?
For me, I would say it's, Arteta wanted his keeper to be off his line a lot more and become more comfortable off of his line a little bit more. And then what I find is even when Raya makes an error, whatnot, he still literally will stay as composed and comfortable receiving and playing the ball in football in the back, whereas I don't think you get that from Ramsdale. And
a little bit more rattled in it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. And although that might be a real minor observation, it's very big in terms of the way that Arteta wants to play and build out the attack. So I think that's why he just has a preference. And I think sometimes when you got your preference, just let a manager have his preference.
But to your point, when you're saying, obviously you're not going to hold the manager to it, but how it is now, personally, I don't think we've seen the best of Raya, and that's because of all the noise that's gone around it. And then when Raya's not playing, we're also seeing the worst of Ramsdale. So it seems like right now Arsenal not getting the best version of both of their goalkeepers. So if Arsenal then come to this position whereby they don't win the league and it's down to a lot of goalkeeping errors, do you not have to look at the manager and say, this is what you've created?
Let me ask you this, Della. Would you be saying the same thing if it wasn't Ramsdale there and it was Hines there and Raya was still making the mistakes he was making?
Well, if Hines was a capable goalkeeper, then I would be saying the same thing.
As in, you would want to see Hines play rather than Raya if he made some
mistake? No, the point I'm making is, in one of the things that you said, that you obviously mentioned Alisson. Alisson is in a completely different bracket to a Raya.
Yeah.
And Raya and Ramsdale are very much in the same sort of bracket.
Right.
So for Arteta to have done what he's done, and there wasn't a big golfing class between the two, and that all you've done is just make them both shaky, it wasn't a risk. It was a risk not worth taking, because Ramsdale, for most part of last season, he made a few mistakes, but all goalkeepers make mistakes.
Yeah.
I know a lot of fans will call to the Southampton situation, but I think if there wasn't a massive gap between the two, it wasn't exactly
bringing. I get what you're trying to say, but ultimately, I don't really stand on that side of the fence. I don't think basically that Raya is made those two mistakes because Ramsdale's sitting on the bench. I just think that's Raya.
No, but maybe. But the thing, obviously, when you don't watch a team like Brentford, we don't know how many mistakes he actually made, or whether what we're seeing is this is actually him, or whether this is the best version of him.
Yeah.
But for all all the plaudits that he got when he was at Brentford, I think he's a better goalkeeper than he's shown now.
No, he could be.
And the mere fact that, okay, if he can't handle the pressure of a of having a battle with another goalkeeper, that comes down to his temperament. Does he have the temperament to be a top 4 goalkeeper? Because you're going to have competition.
That's a fair question. That's a good question as well, actually. What I would say in response to that is we've only played 16 games, and I think over the course of the season we'll be better placed to judge that. What I will say in obviously the games that we have seen with like Arsenal's rivals and stuff, we've seen, like, as much as I just gave massive kudos to Alisson, I've seen Alisson have shockers, like as recently as his previous game before he came back from injury. We've also seen the City keeper do the same. So I think like goalkeeper errors are, it's not like it's not exclusive to just Raya or Ramsdale. We do see it amongst even your fellow rivals. I just think because of the magnifying glass, the microscope that's been placed on the goalkeeping situation by the UK media, I think we're making a bit of a bigger deal out of it at Arsenal. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that what you're saying, you don't have a point, Della. I just personally believe that, yeah, it's a non-starter conversation wise for me. I think like if Raya might have made that mistake whether Ramsdale was there or not. Like I'm not looking for an excuse for him. I'm just like he was a shocker, and I think that it's poor. Like if you've seen it too many times, it's something he's got to address.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the frequency of mistakes.
Yeah.
Like because as you do make a good point. Like goalkeepers, like these days, the way people are playing football, like the keepers are going to make mistakes. Like 1 or 2 every season probably is a reasonable amount. When you're making, I don't know, like 3, 4, every other game, like that's not on, because it's similar to Onana. Like how I feel about him. Like he makes too much mistakes with regular consistency, I think.
Yeah. And just to move on away from that game, but I think one of the reasons why Liverpool and Man City probably have a better chance at winning the league than Arsenal, because at both ends, they've got the right ingredients in terms of their goalkeepers. They got goalkeepers that can save them if they're having a bad day. I'm not saying Arsenal goalkeepers can't, but you feel more comfortable and more confident with Liverpool and Man City's goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Then we're going to move on to the Villa game. But then you now have in the forward line, Man City have Haaland, Liverpool have Salah. People that will just create something out of nothing, and not create nothing out of nothing, but essentially can bail the team out. Arsenal. There's too much of an over-reliance on Saka, and Saka's he's not at the level of Haaland or Salah for Arsenal to be just dependent on him.
But you have to remember, he has had consistent periods in the season, especially this season, where he has performed like Saka.
But what I'm trying to say, I don't feel, but he's not at the Haaland level, is he? He's not going to score 30, 40 goals per season. He's not at the Salah level where he's going to score how many goals a season. And that's where Arsenal don't have the cutting edge on both ends of the pitch.
In terms of game contribution, he probably has, though, in terms of like he has the ability to win a game. Effectively, Haaland has the ability to score a lot of goals, sure. Yeah. But you only need to score 1 goal to win a game. Like Saka is actually creating a lot of chances that way Arsenal will actually end up winning the game. So in terms of importance, I think what I'm trying to say is that the importance of Saka is probably the same as...
No, I'm not. I'm saying he is important, but he's not at the level of Haaland and Salah
in terms of consistency.
Okay.
Where you can bet your house that you know what.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what Arsenal lacking on both sides of the pitch. But with the
and they're spineless as well.
That was an unnecessary cheap dig.
Sorry,
Nah. He's not even fighting back.
Yeah, I didn't have the safety on. My fault.
But that's not true. But I think the point Del Estrada's making, and it's one that I've made before, is I think he's right there. I think as much as Marley Mar, you make a good point that Saka is a man that you can rely on, and obviously Joey, I know like you and I have probably spoken about this. I mean, if you're good enough, you're old enough, so to speak. So we don't really make concessions for his age and stuff. I think you're with me on that side of things. But ultimately, Saka alone, and at his age, I think there should be a bit of margin for him to be able to just go out and create chances, express himself. And if he doesn't get a goal and assist, there is that marquee talisman that's scoring your goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas nowadays, and it frustrates me so much, like whether it's on this platform, whether it's just privately in our group chats or whatnot, where you'll hear people say, oh, Saka's had a bad game or whatnot because he hasn't popped up with a goal and assist.
Yeah, it's unfair.
I just feel like it's unfair expectation from a guy like that who he's performing. He's on like, I think 19 goals or 18 goals and assists for the season, and we're not even at Christmas yet. And I think he hit 24 or something like that last season. Like his trajectory is looking crazy, and then he doesn't get a goal or assist in one game, and everyone's like, "Oh, Saka had a bad one," but he got an offside. Obviously, it doesn't count. Yeah, I know you lot always used to tease me about this when we played for Belmont. But that goal, he scored a goal. It was ruled offside. I'm a little bit skeptical about how quick they chalked that off. I would have at least liked to see some lines just to make sure it really was offside. You spend a lot of time on other games, like I'm sure we're going to touch on. I would have liked to see a few more seconds, like just to check that was actually offside. And
it was though.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I know you're testing.
I'm checking.
Yeah, it was. But how do we know?
No, but sometimes you can see with the eyes.
Fair enough, but I would just like to see the lines, just because obviously they've got previous. But all I'm saying is, had that not been offside, that would be another goal and assist from Saka. So he's trying to do his thing. But to Della's point, I agree with him, and I said from pre-season, we need a striker.
Yeah,
I think we need a striker.
So heading into that game, Arsenal. Okay, let me start this. So after the Newcastle game, Arteta came out and said a few stuff about the referees, and since then, things haven't really gone his ways with the referees and their decision making. So after the winning goal against Luton, he celebrated and he got a yellow card. So that meant he had to sit in the stands for the Villa game.
Was that because of too many yellow cards? Or
that was his third yellow card? Okay. But how can someone get booked for celebrating?
Yeah, I didn't. What did he do? Did he go in someone's face or something?
No, he just. I think he maybe came out of his technical area, but Luton's technical area is very small.
You see, that's small state.
It's so small.
But the rules is the rules.
But have a look at Sheffield United's gaffer celebrating a goal,
and he came out of the technical area.
I guarantee you, so many managers do it.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. So
for you to be very.
But he's put a target on his back, innit?
But
like Lauren James.
Yeah, he needs to take the referees out for dinner, bro.
She's nasty.
Yeah, she's
a nasty piece of work. But yeah,
so obviously, he missed the game, and the game started, and Villa, they got an early lead, but after that, I think Arsenal were pretty dominant, and then we're going to talk about the first incident that happened, which is after. In the second half, beginning of the second half, when Gabriel Jesus got fouled and there was a decision for no penalty. So what were your thoughts on the decision to not give Arsenal a penalty on that, for that attack and for that challenge?
It was frustrating because you know what it was? I watched the Crystal Palace and Liverpool game earlier on, and I saw a penalty given. Now, ultimately, I don't know if it's because the referee took like 3 or 4 minutes to pull it back for the penalty, but ultimately the penalty was given, and it was given rightfully so in my opinion as well. And it was almost like exactly the same. Was it Ruiz? I think Luiz. Yeah. He's caught the back of Jesus's leg, his ankle. He's dragged it back, and Jesus has hit the deck. That is a penalty. They've actually looked at. I think they've had a look at it and they've declared it not a penalty. And it's just like,
no, I don't know if they had a look at it. Did they?
No, VAR looked at it, but I think the thing was, I think the commentators are saying, "Oh yeah, it's going to be given," based on the fact of obviously how Liverpool's one was, and then when it wasn't given, they were more surprised that it wasn't even checked by VAR.
Yeah, it was Carragher.
That's what it was.
It didn't even check it with VAR. Just say I think that's a frustration because it's the lack of consistency.
It's lack of consistency, and the way you led up to this segment, Della. Like I think, obviously, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the implication is, are you maybe saying that because Arteta's thrown a few like verbal daggers their way, that you think that this might be some sort of retribution by them?
Maybe, because obviously the yellow card was a bit harsh for celebrating a last minute winning goal. The mere fact that the similar thing happened in the previous game, fair enough, it was different referees, but one, it was at least checked by VAR, and two, it was given. And then obviously, so we know what stance is that. Then for the before I talk about the disallowed goal, just a word on Arsenal's performance, because obviously this was against a Villa team that have been very dominant at home.
15 wins in a row.
15 wins in a row, who are very dominant against City, only giving them 2 shots on target, or even just shots at a goal, yeah. And for Arsenal to, despite taking an early conceding an early goal, they were pretty dominant, and they were unfortunate not to have equaliser, let alone get the win. So when it comes to the goal from Killer Kai, that was not given, and I'll before I come to you, Shaz, I'm going to go around the table. Start for you, Mars. No, let me start from there. I feel Mars going to be. He's going to be.
No. Let Mars go first.
Yeah,
let Mars go first.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the decision to disallow that goal?
Which one are we talking about? Havertz one.
Yeah.
He handballed it, bruv, twice.
No, it wasn't twice.
Bruv, it hit his arm here, below his t-shirt line.
Yeah.
Like he brushed it.
I think it was only once, but gone.
No, so he brushed it once.
I think that was his chest, you know.
Yeah, I think they gave it for the one that he literally.
That's what I'm about to say. He handballed it twice, so that one I didn't even look at.
No, that one wasn't a handball.
But then the second one, I didn't even see the second one. But you can see the ball move, bro. You can see
the second one. I didn't see. He weren't clear and obvious.
The second one, it just literally his hand was hair.
Okay, all right,
and he didn't move his hand.
Listen, I was surprised when people were actually like angry that, oh, whoa, this should have been a goal. I was like,
yeah.
So I don't think it should have been a goal. Do you guys think it?
Well, you think it shouldn't have been a goal?
Yeah. Only based on the rules that they have established.
Yeah.
But in terms of if now it's just a free for all for defenders to handball it, but attackers can't. That I don't get that.
Yeah. So
based on that rule,
based on the rule, is in like you can't touch it at all with your hand. If you touch it at all with your hand, like during a goal, like they call it back. Based on that alone, it shouldn't have been a goal. But like if we're being realistic, that rule shouldn't be as stiff as it is.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 things. So one, okay, you two, Miles and Joey, you believe that it shouldn't have been a goal
based on
the rules. Yeah.
And Strives, you obviously based on the rules.
Yeah.
Based on the rules, yes or no?
No, based on the rules, it wasn't a goal. I'll give it to them.
So now let's focus on the rules. What do we think about the rules?
It should be a penalty, bro. Sorry. If we take that rule that way, it should have been a penalty.
There was a foul.
Yeah. No, the handball, because Cash handballed it first.
Defenders can touch it like that. Yeah,
it came off Cash's arm.
Yeah.
Onto Havertz. It's just mad, like, because I can see either way. Like, I can see why you'd feel hard done by as Kai Havertz, and obviously being an Arsenal fan, that wow, that's not a goal. First off, I'm thinking, ref, how did you see that? Where did you see it?
I think he just caught it. Yeah.
And that's in my mind. That's what. So for me, it's not even part of the fact that okay, the call was correct, but it's like you've got prejudice there because you did not see it. You just said handball.
Yeah.
How can your on decision be handball?
It's like the rule is like mad loose for defending, but it's absolutely there's no flexibility for attackers.
And then, that rule, but there's loads of rules where it's the other way around.
But for that rule, I agree.
That's kind of balance it out.
Yeah, and why I can't go too ham on that one, because obviously we even saw the Bournemouth goal that when they could have scored their 4th goal. That one, that was harsh as well. That got ruled out. So a similar thing. They seem to be quite. That's one thing. They seem consistent. If it touches your hand in any way, shape, or form, and you're the goal scorer, they rule it off.
I'm okay with that rule as long as it stays like that. Because even if, for example, Kai Havertz handballs it, but then he heads it to someone else and they score, that's a goal.
Yeah, that's a goal.
So that's why I'm okay with that rule staying that way as long as it's black and white like that.
Yeah.
Because then we can have consistency.
And that's why I'm like, that one, I can see the argument for. I can see why Arsenal fans feel hard done by and feel like it's harsh and this is too much. But where that's the rule, all right, cool. It wasn't a goal. But then you look at it and be like, well, the circumstances and how he's handled it, surely I feel like we've been penalised, whereas they could have been penalised. Do you get what I mean? That's the bit where it might be a matter of contention.
I think there should be like a VAR review at least to look at the Cash handball. Is it like a proper handball? If not, I don't know. This probably even happened.
No,
but if they saw that,
they didn't. They were only
there should have been a review to see if that's the case, and then if that's the case, then we give a penalty. But then if that's not the case, then the goal is disallowed.
And even when I'm looking at the review as well, like I couldn't work out whether Nketiah had any part of it going
No,
in
I
and
don't
whatnot.
think so.
I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching there, but yeah, man. But sorry, had you finished asking your questions around that particular
Yeah, I
incident?
think you had a follow-up
Yeah,
question.
because you started off by talking about the actual performance, and I just want to say that I think Arsenal's performance was one that you can take some encouragement from in terms of a team going to Villa Park and the way we saw how Villa played against City. Villa was all over them, dominant. I watched that. I was switching between quite a few games that day, and Villa looked like they were on job. And then Pep Guardiola couldn't even slight them. He had to just give them full credit. Like they deserved that victory. They outplayed them. Arsenal went there, and I think Arsenal kind of had the rub of the green. I think most people would agree. The problem I have with Arsenal, though, is it speaks to, I think, something that you touched on at the beginning of earlier on in this podcast, Della, is that we had all these chances and stuff like that, but we didn't have a killer to convert them. So as much as we can moan about referee inconsistencies and VAR discrepancies, because let's have it right, Nketiah got elbowed by Costa as well, and that wasn't even looked at. He could have been red carded for that.
I don't think that's a red card.
I don't think it was personally, but
Maybe not, but I mean, it wasn't even looked at. You know what I mean? It wasn't looked at. We had a stone cold penalty that definitely should have been had. But outside of all that, Odegaard had 2 chances, very decent chances to put us ahead.
I think he was a coward for that one, though. One of them.
Which one?
Gabby, bro. I think if
the layoff.
Yeah,
he done that similar last game or last week or something.
I thought that was fine.
obviously it looked fine, but if you want a killer, you're expecting a killer to be thinking, first of all, how can I get a goal here? Not first of all, let me lay off.
You talking about Jesus?
Yeah. I think if you're looking at a Suarez or a Salah, as much as we cuss Salah for being greedy, the first thing in his mind is I'm trying to get the goal, and then if I can't get the goal, then I'm laying it off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at him laying it off, but I see the point you're trying to make there.
He did call for it back as well. When he laid it off, he was upset he didn't get returned pass.
Too late.
I'm just saying, I'm just doing reference to your coward.
Yeah.
I think Martinelli as well, when he had that little chip over the goal. I think that could have been a little bit more
better in it.
I think he was in 2 minds whether to just chip over the goalkeeper then go around
But that again lends to the killer thing in it, because you can't be in 2 minds, or you can, but you're less likely to be when you are a killer.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Arsenal, they don't have the killers right now, and that's why I think they may stumble. But in terms of just performance-wise, I think performances so far this season, I don't think Arsenal can be knocked. They may have lost 2 games, but the game they lost against Newcastle, obviously, that was referee decisions. Against Villa, there were referee decisions, but there was games that they could have. It was a game that they could have killed off themselves.
You can argue in both games that Arsenal deserved more than what they got.
Yeah.
But at the end of the season, it don't count for much. And then sometimes I look for what's going on, how we were performing last season, and I think one of the pundits may have said that we're 7 points cheaper this season than we were last season.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because offensively, we're not performing the same. Gabriel Jesus had 5 goals by now. Martinelli had 5 goals.
The difference is Jesus has been injured this season.
What, 2, 3 or 4 goals, but he's only had 2 goals, I think.
Wait, wasn't Jesus injured by this time now as well?
No, he got injured after this point.
Oh, after the World Cup.
At this point he was injured for was he? No, World Cup, and then and then injured afterwards. But I hear what you're saying, Della, but then it's not just Jesus. Martinelli, he's I think he's on 1 goal or 2 goals.
Yeah,
and he had 5 goals by this point.
But the thing is, that thing of what the pundit said, I don't think you can. It's 2 different seasons.
Yeah,
so we can't be saying this season they're 7 points off. Yeah, they're 7 points off, but they were top of the league. And in comparison to the rest of other teams in the league, those teams are probably also worse off. So it's a completely different league this season compared to last season. And Arsenal have approached it slightly different. And yes, I think they need to do better in attack, but defensively they're a lot better. So yeah, all those things need to be factored in together.
Swings and roundabouts, but then I think even the last 2 games we had went some way to kind of make me wonder, are we a lot better defensively? I mean,
we are, but you got Ryan goal. That's what, there was 2 mistakes from him.
Do you know how many goals you conceded this time last season?
I know it's a lot better this season.
When you say you guys, don't look at Della. because it's
So no, my finger was actually pointing at
But yeah, make your last point, then we need to move on.
Were they? Was how?
Are you asking me or Arsenal correspondent?
My finger's still pointing at him. But was it much better last season though? Because obviously you had your full defense last season at this time last year.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And to be honest with you, I don't know. I was looking only at the offensive because defensively, I'm okay with Arsenal. So my gripe has always been offensively. So if you ask me about the stats, I could tell you how many goals each man had last season, and I could tell you what they had this, because my agenda, if you want to call it that, has always been that we're not going to be able to keep up with the intensity or the goal scoring ferocity that we had last season, and that we're going to need a talisman this season. And I feel like that so far has been proved correct. And if we don't do that or address that in January, it would hurt all of us as Arsenal fans so much if that is the difference between us not winning the Premier League and winning the Premier League, just having that guy that's going to actually score goals.
And before we move on, one thing I would say is that, I think I said it last week, now that Arsenal have their front five and they've been playing consistently, I think you see a difference in how Kai is performing. And I listened to a podcast today, and I think they said that maybe Jesus should become a defensive midfielder and Kai should become the striker. But ultimately speaking, they are rotating their positions. So Jesus is coming deep, and then Kai is basically low touch football and run into the box for
crashing the box. No, that makes a bit of sense, because everyone's talking about how dope Jesus is. Because people think I don't like Jesus. I like him. I'm just like, bro, I want a striker though. But everyone's telling me what he does on the ball, off the ball. Then, bro, make him a midfielder then.
No. You know he's like Firmino, but he just scores less goals.
No. He's suffering from Joe Lintonism.
Come on.
Nah, bro.
Remember Joe Linton came as a striker.
Yeah, I know, bro.
He's one of the best CMs
a striker. Jesus is a striker. And I think him and Kai.
I'm not being facetious. I promise you.
You're doing it a little bit too far.
No. Because Della was about to say he's a striker.
He's too far.
I don't think Jesus is a striker anymore, bro.
There are different types of strikers.
Of course, not strikers. There's different types of forward.
Okay, he's a forward.
Yeah.
Okay, let me to make my point. Let me say he's a striker, and Kai Havertz is a forward. But he's let's say he plays as a false nine, with his back to goal, lay off or whatever. Then as he comes deep, someone like Kai, who's a forward, runs into his space, and that's what's going to happen. And if I just finish this point. So last season, everyone saw how Man City came into the game second half of the season. But up until that point, there was games where they seemed like they weren't performing so well. And maybe it may happen with Arsenal, whereby this is...
I knew that's what he was getting at. When have Arsenal ever done that?
No. If I make the point, maybe you would understand.
Sorry.
So the point I'm trying to make is, I know people have been complaining as maybe Arsenal haven't really been performing so well at this moment in time. But maybe it's a new system where players need to adjust to it. So when the players adjust to it, maybe some players will feel a lot more comfortable in the system. E.g. Kai Havertz, who obviously someone could say he's been looking a lot differently so far.
Finding his runs, I don't know why you're making that face.
I'm just saying. So is your point like towards the second half of the season, Arsenal were going to kick in? Like
no, I'm saying second. No, I'm not comparing with Man City. I'm saying second half of the season, attacking wise, they may be better.
Oh, okay.
Because they'll understand the system.
Yeah, understand the system more. Because people are saying, I know to Strive's point, he used to say Kai didn't need to start, but he did need to start, because in order for him to understand the system for the second half of the season, when it's the running, you can't be having Kai to be or the team not working together.
But
so at least now second half
to all teams, though, in terms of just if you're trying a new system and them understanding.
No, not disputing that. So that's why when people are saying the attacking isn't, it's not gelling, because it's a new forward line.
They're finding him at that back post quite a lot recently.
So
there's no...
That's his thing. And at Chelsea when he was getting those goals. But I still think it can end up the same way at Chelsea, because up until this point, I've not seen anything dissimilar from him at Chelsea. Everything he's doing now is what he has shown at Chelsea.
What I will give him, what I was quite like complimentary of him as well. Like outside of me believing that Kai Havertz has turned a bit of a corner, and he's not like the world's greatest guy in the whole wide world. But why you can stomach him a little bit more nowadays is, bro, he's got a bit of like bottle, bro. Like I don't know if I said it in the group chat I was in with you guys, but I think like some of the players, like if the referee is against us, like Del Estrada alluded to, stop playing for their foul, stop rolling around, stop holding your shins. Trossard, stop coming in and time wasting or what have you. Not when you're 1-0 down. Jesus, I noticed Jesus was getting knocked about a bit at Luton, and then he clocked, I'm not getting anything, and then he just pulled his socks up and got, he started getting gritty. Kai Havertz is doing like Kai Havertz ain't having it. He's showing some like you see the way he squared up to Martinez. Like Kai Havertz just seems to just have a bit about him, kind of thing. And I think I don't know. I think what I'm seeing with Kai Havertz, like Odegaard, for instance, I feel like he's pussying out of 50-50s a lot.
That's not his thing.
Yeah.
No, but you're my captain. I cussed Bruno. I've cussed Bruno Fernandes when you lot spanked United, and my captain. I can't be seeing you doing 50-50s, and I'm seeing. I think was it? I can't remember if it was Matty Cash. I remember there was one time when I was like, Odegaard, why did he beat you to that ball? Like you didn't fully commit. Whereas I'm not. I think with Kai Havertz, he's fully committing on that. Now he's making these runs that are actually getting picked up, and we're getting goals from it. So as much as obviously there's a bit of eye rolling around the pundits table, I can see why.
Because your point is he's got a nasty streak, so he can get stuck in. But I've only ever seen that when he's losing, bruv. Losing or the result ain't going to his favour. So you don't really want to see that. You want to see it when
he has got a bit of bite to him. Even when Arsenal.
But what I'm saying is I only ever see it when the result isn't going in his favour. Like it's more petulant than I'm getting stuck in. Do you know what I mean? Because Bruno does it. Bruno gets nasty as well.
Is it? I don't know.
But let's not dwell on this point.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
But we can talk about Bruno. So United going into this game against Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm.
You went into the game with the manager of the month.
Yep.
Player of the month, goal of the month, or whatever. It's irrelevant. But
say goal of the month.
Yeah, Garnacho.
Yeah, Garnacho. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fun fact: last time that happened when Man United got a clean. I don't know if it was a clean sweep, but
the goal as well.
No, manager and player. I think we played Liverpool after, and we got clapped 4-0. So I'm just saying, it happens, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're going to talk about it. Yeah. So yeah, going into that game, off the back of obviously, as I said, you're manager of the month, player of the month, and you just beat Chelsea. Did you feel, and obviously then what the end result with Bournemouth was, do you feel all those things were just paving over the cracks of what is Man United?
No, not paving. No, I wouldn't say paving over the cracks because I mean we won it for I think it was 3 wins, and in those 3 wins we didn't concede, and then obviously had that 1-0 loss to who was it again?
1-0 loss.
What do you mean?
Anyway, we had a loss anyway. We had the loss in the record. So I mean, I don't think it was paving over the cracks. I think we've actually been playing all right. And I think legit, genuinely, I think even in the 3-0, I think we didn't. If you watch the whole game, like up until their first goal.
Which game are we talking about?
Sorry, the Bournemouth one. Sorry, they scored the first goal pretty early.
Yeah,
but in the first half, we was actually playing pretty okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were playing.
But did you create much chances? You may have been playing okay, but did you create chances during that period? Because I felt like your first half was very underwhelming.
Yeah. Listen, I'm running out of words for this team, bro.
I think the only chance that you had was the Maguire looping header, and then I don't think I saw anything else. Yeah,
in the final third, we're having a hard time at the minute. We're having a hard time. We're not scoring any goals. We're playing all right in terms of like possession wise. We look all right, but I think the issue is it doesn't really look like there's not going to be no end product coming from it, and I think that's what the major issue is. Højlund, as lack of goals are concerned. Martial, when I saw him,
hang on.
Rewind.
So I just want to start
in the Prem.
No. The only reason I started because obviously I had a back and forth with Strides, and I was in support of the comment that you made about. I think John mentioned about how you feel about Ten Hag signings. You feel like Anthony's going to come good. And you think Højlund's going to... You said you wasn't too concerned...
Anthony's going to come good?
Yeah, he said eventually. And he said he wasn't too concerned about Højlund at that moment in time because he's scoring goals in the Champions League. So he feels like he'll come good. So when you're saying... So you're now concerned... I need to understand.
I had a moment of reflection in it. And I feel like your John's initial comment that he made that I challenged, that was on the back of my mind when I watched the game. The reason I say I'm concerned, because obviously that there's reports out now that Martial's going to obviously he's going to get sold in January, or he's going to get sold in the summer. The reason I'm concerned is that I look at Højlund and I see like similarities to obviously the Martial case, in the sense that he's come. He came with a lot of promise,
hefty price tag.
Yeah, and how many years later we're letting this guy go for potentially free? Like, so I'm concerned in the sense that I know Man United have the capabilities to get players that have promise, and you'll be waiting 5-6 years and you never see anything. So that's why I'm concerned.
So your initial comment to Jonathan, when was that? When is that, Straus? Because was it last week?
Thursday, I think. Or Thursday or Wednesday.
Yeah. Before the game.
Oh, before the game, Wednesday.
Yeah, it was before the game.
So in the space of a week, you just avoided your comments.
It's over the week,
hey, man.
A few days. But I think to be fair to both of you, I think you were both challenging, because I was saying I don't think he's doing his job, whereas you're saying he's doing his job because he scores goals.
I was referring to the Champions League. That's what he was talking about. He said he's doing his job in the Champions League.
My issue was that.
But he is.
Nah, but my issue is that your job is more than just the Champions League.
And it's more than just scoring goals, because then otherwise do you attribute that to everybody?
And I gave 33% and you didn't like that.
But I didn't like it because you made it up, bro. You didn't have no calculator, bro.
I did the calculations.
No, but in the context of the point that he was trying to make, whereby, okay, I'm not concerned about him because he's doing well in this competition.
Yeah, he's showing his capability.
Fair enough. His goals are not getting us points, but he's doing his job in that competition. Right. So hopefully it'll transpire.
Just score goals, or is his job to play? Because remember, you said it's a team effort, and I agree with you there. But then we were agreeing but disagreeing, because I'm saying his job is to win games as a football player. I bet you're saying it's a team effort to win games.
I think that's unfair.
No, so what I'm trying to say...
You think that's unfair?
So let me... Go on, Jones.
Yeah, so I don't think his job is to win games. Obviously, it's to score goals, but I think more his job is to be in a position to score goals, because you can't guarantee the quality of the pass. You just have to do your job, and that you're just a part of the machine. Yeah. And the whole machine's job is to win games.
Yeah, that's the point I was making, because there isn't a sole reliance on just a striker to win games. Everyone crosses that white line with the intention of winning.
Should cross the line.
Should with the intention of winning the game. Yeah. And in order to win a game, as a component, as a team, we all have our individual jobs. So as a defender, my job is to do my job and to make sure they don't score. Yeah. Midfielder, do what you need to do. As a striker, your job is to score goals. If a striker doesn't score goals, more times out of 10, we're going to lose. If a defender doesn't do his job, more times out of 10, we're going to concede goals and lose. So that was the argument I was trying to come with, whereby saying his job, yes, is to win a game, but you can't just pin it just on the striker.
No, so what I wasn't doing was pinning it on the striker. What I was doing was saying, because he's done a component of his job, but the overall mission hasn't been achieved, they've all failed their job.
Yeah, he's won the battle, but not the war.
We could have been talking about McTominay. We could have been talking about Garnacho. I would have told you they failed. You get what I mean? Even though McTominay has scored, you get what I mean? So it wasn't about Højlund per se as an individual. It was about, my thing was, as a football player and your job's to win, obviously as a team, you're not winning, so you're not doing your job. So that was my rebuttal.
But even like, because let's go back to Sunday League. Just do your job.
Just make sure you win all your battles.
But you know what? Do your job. In Sunday League, do you know what used to really, really annoy me? If we had lost the game, and then I'd go back to the changing room.
People were talking about the job they did.
Oh my days. It would piss me off.
They'll say what?
I got my goal. I won all my challenges.
And I'm thinking, fam, we lost 4-1. What do you mean you got your assist or your goal? But that person's going home happy as Larry. It used to really piss me off.
That's Stefan.
Wow.
I could hear him saying it.
I could hear him saying it as well. I'm getting flashbacks.
I guess to Højlund, to summarize it, it's the lack of goals in the Premier League. I mean, you have to look at it and think. I mean, you should have scored maybe more. But to counter that point, we don't create a lot of chances. We do. We're not creating a lot of chances for him, particularly. We've got our wingers are obviously inside forward, so they're obviously never looking for him. That's an issue. I think he was getting a little bit more joy when Rashford actually moved over to the right-hand side, and Rashford he wasn't cutting inside because he hasn't got much of a left foot, so he was actually whipping it in. So Højlund was actually getting a few amount of chances, and I think he actually scored in the Champions League goals came from Rashford being on the right. So, yeah, man.
But to that point, do you think your manager understood who he was buying and how he fits in the component of the players around him in your current team right now. Because if your wide forwards are always going to cut in Anthony, Rashford, and Højlund, I don't know whether his link-up play is that good. He seems like he just wants to get in behind. He's sort of like Lukaku-esque in the sense of he has a profile of a player that's meant to be good with his back to goal, but he lacks a run in behind the defence. So knowing that, and you know that he's not going to be linking up that well, why did you sign him?
Do you know? I actually don't think his link up is actually.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's not.
I think more so a case of like. So you look at the profile players that he signed before 10. He had Haller, didn't he?
Yeah, Haller.
Yeah, he bought Haller. So that's a back to goal kind of striker. So effectively, what these guys' jobs are, they're to bring in the inside forwards. But at the minute, when your inside forwards are Rashford, who's stinking up the joint, Anthony, who's stinking up the joint, Garnacho, who's pretty much a ute, like. You're not going to see the value of him, and at the minute, I think that's the case. He's not scoring, and there's also not helping out stinky strikers or stinky inside forward. So it's an issue, man.
Yeah. Your next game is against Liverpool.
Bayern Munich.
After Bayern Munich, the next game in the Premiership is against Liverpool. And your captain, fantastic. He got a yellow card. So he'll miss the next game. But the concerning thing, he didn't get a yellow card for a challenge, or I don't know. I think he got a yellow card for dissent. So do you think
he bowled it?
Yes.
No, I don't think he bowled it. I think he just lost his rag. I think that's.
But you're winning 3-0. I mean, you're losing 3-0.
Yeah, losing.
Wishful thinking.
That's what I'm saying. I think he just lost his rag. He seems like one of them guys that's like, regardless of what the rules are, emotions. Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah,
we don't agree.
No.
No. Agree with what?
I think he bottled it.
Oh yeah, I think.
I know, but because what do you not agree with?
I think he bottled it.
That's what he said.
No, I don't.
He thinks. Sorry, I think he bottled it purposely.
Oh, you think he didn't?
Thinks he did because he can't control
himself. In the Liverpool game, he was thinking about Liverpool game. He said, "I'm not playing in that."
Wow, you're losing 3-0 to Bournemouth.
What you got doing this?
Do you know what it is? It's, you know when you see that.
I'm not going to Anfield again,
bro. You know when you see that.
I'm telling you, he thought that. I'm telling you, bro.
That's Captain Bruno.
You see when there's people out there and they're bad, but they're only bad to certain people. When certain people come around, they can check their behavior.
Okay.
This guy can check his behavior, but he's trying to pretend like, I'm a passionate guy. I can't check my behavior now. If it was a Champions League final, he's not going to do that. He's not going to get a yellow card for dissent. He can control his behavior, but he didn't feel the need to, bro.
But what was the incident that he got?
I'm trying to remember the incident. Was it an obvious like yellow?
I can't remember.
I thought
I just know it was dissent and he was losing.
I just remember everybody like saying, "Why is he getting a yellow card now, bro? Why is he getting?" And then that was the first thing that came together, bro. Like,
let me go and flash.
He can control himself, bro. We've seen him control himself, but all of a sudden he's completely lost his rank.
Yeah, I make Joey right there. Like, if the next game was a final and he knew that yellow card would prevent him from playing in that final, he's not getting a yellow card for dissent, but he's thinking about it, bro. He's seen his team get smacked up, bro,
by Bournemouth, bro.
And he cannot believe it. and then he said, something went in his mind, and then he got the flashback of what happened at Anfield, and he said, "Fuck."
He's going into the shadow realm.
He said, "Fuck this." He said, "Well, I'm not doing it again."
Me personally, I don't know whether he done it on purpose, but the mere fact that you're missing your captain and he's missing the next game because of dissent, and he must have known he was on a booking away from missing the next game.
Yeah, he would have known that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where you have to look him and the fact that a lot of the time people criticize him for his petulance and why they say he's not captain material.
Childish.
So knowing your team needs you after you just lost 3-0. So I don't want to keep on doing the whole media thing where they say Roy Keane is a captain. Roy Keane missed the Champions League final because he was working hard for United against Juventus and he got a yellow card. Bruno, knowing as a booking away, losing 3-0 against Bournemouth, instead of saying, right guys, we've lost, cool, let's go again next week. He's like, fuck it.
He might have done it for the good of the team. Because a lot of fans say that United play better with Rashford and Bruno, so Rashford ain't starting, so he might have thought, I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna.
You don't think Rashford's going to start against Liverpool?
I think he'll start now.
He might start now. Yeah, he actually came on.
He should fancy himself against Trent.
Yeah. He should play with Bruno at the team. He should play, but. Who knows, man? I don't know.
What was I going to say?
He was all right against Chelsea. Although I feel like you did better capitalizing on their mistakes.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I'm saying. I think it was paving over the cracks between your. But yeah, before we're going to move over to Liverpool shortly. But for that game, Bruno missing. Who's your vice captain?
Oh,
Maguire. No, I'm joking.
No,
Ain't it Maguire?
Ain't it? No, I don't think it's Maguire.
No.
I don't actually know. You know, Shaw maybe.
Rashford, no.
Oh, it could be Shaw or Rashford.
Oh yeah, I think it is Luke Shaw. Yeah,
It might be Shaw. I don't actually know that. Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Do you think he'll give it to Shaw or give it to Maguire?
Oh, sure. If it will be Shaw. Yeah. Well, I don't think he'll give it back to Maguire. No, he's out there. He's out the runnings, bro.
Shaw, did Shaw play centre back?
Yeah. I think he got dunked on it for the second goal.
Yeah, he did. It was nasty stuff.
Onana, am I being harsh and thinking Onana could have done better with that second goal?
I think
he's dead.
It was right in the centre of the goal.
Considering that he's supposed to be a guy that's off his line and ready to play ball, bro. Like when the ball's coming in the air, this guy's very fixed on his line.
He's dead, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I just don't feel that there's any point in even bringing up or even talking about Onana and Ten Hag.
But lucky, bro.
There's no point.
It's true.
You can bring him.
But he's gonna AFCON in it. So
yeah.
That's your chance to see this other Turkish keeper.
You see that, yeah. And this is the thing I'm concerned about with managers, knowing that you're gonna be losing a player in a period of time. You've not seen your second goalkeeper, have you?
The Turkish.
He's not playing any games.
No.
So now you're just gonna throw him in the deep end and expect him to come on.
I'm surprised. Like Ten Hag is very, very stubborn in the sense that he's not really willing to. If he believes in something, he's not really willing to change it. And I think he's like dead set on playing Onana, like regardless of what he's doing. And I mean, I think a manager worth his salt would have like taken him out of the firing line for a little bit.
Just to protect him, if anything.
Yeah, like he's a new signing as well. Like just well, to be fair, it's another new signing bringing in. But I don't know, man. It feels weird that he hasn't been rotated as of yet, and I feel like he's made enough mistakes and errors that don't look as like clear errors, but the goalkeeping community would probably say that's an error. Like he's made enough of that. Like I don't know, take him out of the team, man.
Like I sort of get why he's not taking him out of the team because he's your first choice goalkeeper.
And he served Ten Hag well before, and he had a good season last season. So there's a player.
No, he wasn't. Not here. Not Man United. But
there's something there anyway.
But my point is that he's going to be. He's not going to play the whole season. There's going to be a period where he's not available, which is AFCON, and you've not given your reserve goalkeeper or your second choice goalkeeper an opportunity, even in Carling Cup. No one's saying take him out and play him in Premiership or Champions League, but in Carling Cup where you're meant to be rotating or you've not done it. So when things go from bad to worse because you've now, maybe he might be good, but he doesn't know your system, your style of play, and he may come out with playing in front of a defense that's not solid. It's not good planning.
I think in Ten's defense, there aren't that many games during the AFCON. I think it's like 3 tops because you got the FA Cup kind of comes in there, and then so it's probably like 2 or 3 games you end up missing.
When does it start?
It's usually like mid-Jan.
Okay, so he might be out of the team by then. We'll see.
So let's move on to Liverpool. So midweek you beat Sheffield United 2-1, obviously with a last-minute goal. So I think the scoreline was a bit flattering because I think it wasn't the greatest performance from you guys in that game. Then you played Palace, in which you said you was at the game. Firstly, let's talk about from a Liverpool performance. Things weren't really good for you guys up until the sending off.
No.
But before we get to the sending off, let's talk about 2 incidents. The first penalty that was given but then overturned. What was your thoughts? Was that rightfully overturned?
Yeah, so obviously watching the game, there's no replays in it. So I saw the challenge on Endo and I thought, okay, well, the ref hasn't given it and he was close to it as well. So I'm thinking this is definitely a goal scoring opportunity. And when I saw Van Dijk's challenge, I knew straight away it was a penalty. When they started doing a VAR check, bro, it's crazy how there's no communication with the fans or anything, and then all of a sudden you hear
is that your first time you've been at a stadium with VAR?
Yeah. So like you just hear the sound, and then penalty being checked or something like that. So you're just thinking, wow, what? There's no way this isn't a penalty. But then I think back watching the game, and Will Hughes was aggressive on Endo, but I think it's like 4 or 5 times. So it's like twice before that foul. and in the whole game, it was like 4 or 5 times where he went through the back of Endo pulls. So, yeah, I thought it was a penalty. So I was shocked. And then obviously...
okay, you thought it was a penalty, but obviously when VAR comes in, you go back.
I saw that it was definitely the right decision, yeah.
And then obviously the game went on, and I think, was it the first half or second half that they got the penalty? First half, right?
It was the second half.
Oh, beginning of the second half?
Yeah,
because Eduardo came off.
Yeah.
So thoughts on that, do you think that was a penalty?
So by the rule of the letter, yes. I think it was a penalty. I think even though it was a bit soft because Mateta weren't doing anything, I think he even probably kicked the ball away, to be fair. But you made contact in the box.
They didn't even appeal for it neither, did they?
No, nobody appealed for it. Everybody kept on going. And what was crazy is like that 3 minutes seemed like an eternity, bro. And the ball didn't go off. They stopped play for it. So why did they wait 3 minutes to stop play?
No, because in order for them to stop play, they obviously need to make sure it might be a penalty. There's no point stopping play, saying we're checking something, then it's not a penalty. So once they've checked and said, you know what, right, yeah, this might be a penalty, so ref, go and check the monitors.
Okay, because my assumption is that they won't do anything until they stop play.
I think
they might have changed everything after that whole Liverpool Spurs thing, man. Because obviously the contention is they didn't do it for you guys,
That's true. Yeah. So and then the next weekend they stopped playing straight away without the ball going out of play, and they pulled it back. So you're probably right there.
You see something like that, yeah. Is it right that they are agile in the sense of like, okay, we've made a big fuck up. So rather than continuing with the rules as it was, so let's say they said they couldn't, once they've blown the whistle, they can't overturn a decision. Is it right that they continue doing that? Or they say, you know what, let's be more agile. So, you know what, that was a big fuck up.
It was common sense, man. And even the way it was done in the game, I have no problem with you going 5 minutes or even 10 minutes, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
If it's a penalty, pull it back and give the penalty, man. My only issue is, again, we've spoken about with Gabby Jesus and that not being a penalty.
Yeah.
And then when Liverpool played Arsenal last season, remember that penalty that Gabby Jesus won from Thiago?
Oh, yeah.
Exact same thing. And it's not given as a penalty. So again, it's just an issue for consistency. But in terms of the letter of the law, if you make contact in the ball, you don't win contact with the player, you don't win the ball in the box. For me, every time is going to be a penalty. It's going to take a lot for it to not be a penalty.
Yeah.
You think that should have been a penalty, sorry?
Yeah, I think definitely.
You think it should have been a penalty?
Yeah, I think it's careless defending from Jarrell Quansah. You don't get to the ball first, you make contact with a player. For me, remember the Soboslai one?
I think it's harsh, but...
Yeah, me and Sam had a debate about the Soboslai one. I think it was at Aston Villa, I want to say. But he chopped somebody in the box, nasty chop, and the guy made contact. He could have kept on going, but he went down. So I think like if you make that contact in the box, even though Mateta had first touch was a clearance, it's still a penalty for me.
So you think Jesus one should have been a penalty as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, don't you think it should have been?
No, I wouldn't have given either one. I think it's
soft.
I think it's a little bit soft.
I think either eradicate that or
just saying that. Obviously, you want to be consistent with it.
Yeah,
I don't take it case by case, but yeah, I don't think that should have been a penalty personally.
What was it like at the ground when they took so long assessing Will Hugh's foul for Van Dijk's obviously penalty?
We've moved on from that one.
Yeah, I know you touched it, but you didn't ask him.
Yeah. So Palace fans are funny still, man. They were fuming, bro. Yeah, and that's how I was starting to get worried for my safety, bro. At that point, because
you wasn't wearing a Liverpool shirt.
I wasn't. I was wearing a proper jacket as a top. But when some Liverpool fan got escorted out of the section, innit?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was going to get rushed. He was going to get rushed, bro. So when he was getting moved, I had to boo him as well, bro. I'm trying to go home. Yeah, but always.
Nah, they were lively. I think I saw them in London Bridge.
Yeah.
I saw them in London Bridge. I think, bloody hell, they started early, man. They were lively.
They're out for it. Where was you sitting?
I was sitting on the halfway stand on the sideline, so on the touchline. So
okay,
right near the halfway line.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So good tickets.
Good seats, man. But that's my first time sitting close to the pitch, that close to the pitch.
Yeah.
I prefer the view a bit further back up. But you can see the whole pitch. I like to see everyone's movement and what the defense are doing. You can't really see the picture properly because you're too close, innit, man?
Yeah, halfway's pretty good. Like it's obviously like all pretty level in the sense. Like my ones were like halfway, so you could see the grass, but you could.
And so you was like halfway up the stand. Yeah, that's perfect.
It was nice, man. Sorry.
So back to the game. So obviously now penalty given. Palace scored.
Funny enough, so while I was sitting in the game, I was doing my bets in it. So I tried to do my emotional hedge bet in it that I run in it. We were under pressure even before that.
Yeah.
The first penalty shot where Van Dijk didn't get given. I knew we were going to concede, and I'm thinking we played terrible against Sheffield. The previous game, what was the game where we scored? Was it Brentford? No, what was
Fulham.
Fulham played terrible in that game, like in terms of our lack of presence in the midfield and how easily we were bypassed. I felt something coming on, so I thought, all right, let me just hedge my emotions with a little financial compensation. But it didn't go through. So as soon as I finally got it on, the penalty was given.
For Palace,
innit? So I knew it was coming, man. It was just the way of the game going. But Strive says when I say them things, I'm speaking it into the existence. But you can tell, man, it's just how Liverpool have been recently, man. Which is a bit worrying considering the games we've got in hand.
Yeah, and then so obviously, as you rightly said, I think Palace were deserved of
Jefferson Lemar was dominating the game, dominating midfield, and once he came off injured as well, that opened up the floodgates, man.
I didn't even know he came off injured. But the main talking point was Ayu's second yellow card. I'm going to come to the guys first before I come to you as the Liverpool correspondent. Strives and Mal, did you see the incident?
Yeah, I watched it on a match of the day.
Yeah. So what was your thought on the both yellow cards? The first one being when he stood on the ball or stood in front of the ball and Van Dijk kicked it. Then he got a yellow card. Then the next one.
First one was obviously soft, but the rules are the rules. And the second one was yellow card.
Oh, you think it was a yellow card?
I think so, yeah.
Strives, what's your thought?
I didn't think the second one was a yellow card. I thought it was I thought it was harsh, man. I thought it was harsh. The first one, I thought it was a bit petulant, but cool. You can give those. But I think once you've given one, I wouldn't have given a second yellow card.
Yeah. So, but fair enough. Like, don't you feel like a referee should manage the game a lot better?
Yeah, no. I think he should have applied common sense in the sense that I don't think he should have been sent off. But I mean, by the if you're like, if each incident is isolated for both,
but let me come to you now, Jerry. Do you feel that was I think we all agree on the first one. It was petulant. And
yeah.
Do you feel the second one was worthy of a second yellow card to send off a player?
I think exactly what you said. Like, in terms of managing the game and understanding, I wouldn't, if I was refereeing that game, I wouldn't have given a yellow card for it. I think even though Harvey Elliott is progressing with the ball, I don't think there was anything on. And I don't think it was cynical enough for me to give a yellow card for it. But as Marley said, when you do those things and you're on a yellow card, like, you're tempting the referee, man.
But even when you do those things, it was a genuine attempt to go for the ball.
I don't think it was. I think it was. It was. He definitely meant to trip him up. Because he knew that he wasn't going to get in front of Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott kind of like burst away.
I tried to think about that. Was it tactical? And I think
I think it was laziness or like lack of
laziness,
lack of like thinking.
I just think like you could argue that it might have been tactical, like it was a smart foul, but I just feel like the yellow was harsh. And then also when you look at the stats of it as well, you know, you guys were equal in the amount of fouls you committed.
And they got more yellow cards.
17 fouls. Liverpool 17 fouls. Crystal Palace got 9 yellow cards to your 1. Crystal Palace got 1 red card to your 0. And it's just like, I've had this theory that ever since Klopp like batted up PGMO and like I feel like they've like I feel, you know what I think? I think they did that penalty thing just to kind of throw us off the scent. Like, but I think Klopp's got these guys.
Nah, it went a penalty, bro. But the fans were chanting 2-1 to the referee. But no, to that point. I was saying to Della before you guys came in, Palace their tactics was to be aggressive in the game and to, obviously, like I said before, Will Hughes got that penalty disallowed. He'd done it twice before that and then another 2 times after that on the same player. So they were being aggressive on when we were collecting the ball and they were trying to stop it out from the pass, and it was working well, to be fair. I think the difference is a lot of their fouls were way more cynical than the fouls that Liverpool were doing. And so I thought that up until the end of the game where we finally got a yellow card for Konate. And it was quite a cynical foul. But up until that point, I felt the fact that Palace fans were being a bit unfair to the ref because, again, the fouls that Liverpool were doing were like genuine challenges for the ball. Whereas Will Hughes would just go straight through the back of Endo, and then Joe Ward will do like a crunch and slide tackle on Trent or Gomez in it. So I think it was their tactic and it was working for majority of the game.
So obviously moving on from that, you got the sending off and the game changed. I think a minute later, Salah scored. Then I
think the game changed mostly from Lerma coming off.
Not having 10 men.
No, obviously that made a difference. But once they lost Lerma, they had no protection. If Lerma was still on the pitch, I think it could have probably ended in 1-1.
What about the subs that you lot made? Klopp made some good subs.
But
those subs.
The subs are good. I think Gakpo coming on, like Nunez was a waste of space in that game. Soboslai stunk in that game as well, bro. I think he stunk 3 times in a row now, or 3 or 2 times in a row. So it was good changes at the right times. But again, the Lerma injury and the yellow cards, the red card made it perfect. If I'm going to be honest with you,
Salah's on a bit of a mad one in a minute as well, isn't it?
Who's that?
Salah, Mo.
I think he had like 2 or 3 games where he hadn't had anything, because that's when Strauss had his theory about him not.
Oh, I thought he'd been playing well, no?
Pulling through.
Yeah, because I took him out my team thinking that he'll do nothing against Crystal Palace. And
in terms of like direct goals and assists, you're not seeing it. But in terms of like
in that game, he wasn't that great.
No,
he went. No,
a lot of Liverpool performances they weren't that good in that game.
I didn't get my money's worth from him, to be completely honest. But obviously, Harvey Elliott came on. That was a great change, man. He was direct, and Cody Gakpo was. I was surprised to see him go out on the right.
Yeah, but
he had loads of space on the right, man, and obviously that's what lends to the red card.
Yeah.
Elliott's goal was that.
Let's go.
Good player.
Let's leave that bit there for Liverpool.
Oh, sorry, one more thing as well. Just in terms of the performances, man, I am worried because obviously, even though Arsenal didn't get their result, they're playing well. We're getting results, but we're not playing great, man. Maybe we can turn it on for when they come round, but
you got like 6 new players in your team, but I think we have also. I think we've got new players in our team as well. I know a regular rebuttal is you're playing with a brand new midfield, but as are we. I don't know. I remember I said like literally a week ago, I'm changing my tune. Like I said that, I'm looking forward to going to Anfield or whatnot, but I don't know. Like I'm watching both of them. I do see vulnerabilities in the Liverpool team, but where Arsenal don't seem to have that killer instinct, well, I think it's a real pick 'em.
But you guys
are the favourites. Actually, you guys are the favourites.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. But I'm saying, but last season when you lot were playing, you still didn't have that killer instinct, really. But what's the difference now in terms of? Like, you got the same attack, technically, or more improved attack.
No, so in terms of personnel, the attack, I know what you're saying in terms of not much has changed there, but in terms of just the performance, the output, we're not performing in the same way. I've got this theory where I feel like our attack, like for instance, I think Jesus was being Jesus because he had the World Cup looming. I think he was playing for the World Cup and things such as that. Things such as that. Odegaard. I feel like now that obviously we've become the team that we've become, I feel like people have cottoned on to us. So I feel like
that's another thing.
You get what I mean? So although you are seeing the same people, our attack isn't as potent as it was before. So I think it's going to be a good game, man. I think it's going to be a good. I think we need to beat Brighton to have some momentum, and they're our bogey team.
Who's at home?
We're at home. That's the only saving grace.
Sorry, and for the United game,
they beat us 3-0 at home last season. So, but
for the United game, I think there's an expectation that Liverpool are going to turn them over. I think the way we've been playing, like I think there's not going to be more than 3 goals in that game.
I can't see United.
Disagree with that.
No, I know, because you have been exceptionally bad, but I think the hunger's not going to be. I think it's just going to be a bit different. I'm not feeling as confident as I did last season in that same fixture.
I'm hoping you smoke them.
I'm hoping so.
Why? What's your business, bro?
No, it's not nothing to do.
You should hope Man United beat Liverpool.
No. I want them to smoke them so that when they come to us, that they're all
satisfied.
well fed. They're well fed. Like they ain't got that killer instinct no more. But obviously, like Della said, like if you could get some miraculous point from them or something, I'd be great. I'd be so happy. Liverpool being top of the table it just doesn't sitting right with me.
Where we belong.
Yeah, let's move on from Liverpool now, and we're going to talk about Chelsea. They lost midweek to United. Not the greatest of performances. And then they lost to Everton 2-0. So for Klopp, like, how long is a piece of string? As in, like, Poch, sorry.
Poch.
How long is a piece of string? How long do you think how much time do you think he should be given? Anyone on the table?
I think it's a disgrace that he's gone to the media and asked for more signings, bro. I think he's got no shame, bro. Because are all those signings were they made above his head? Did he not have?
They probably
definitely
were.
Man.
What, you don't think he had no say in those signings?
A lot of those signings were probably done in the summer when he was just
Like the Lavia Caicedo, they were agreed before he even came, man.
Bro, but imagine that though. You've brought in a Lavia who, like, for what was the point of most of these signings?
That's not Poch though. For me, none of these signings are on Poch, man. So when he says I need some actual players,
maybe I need my own players.
And you heard what they said about Harry Redknapp and Frank Lampard said about Mudryk.
I know.
That's why I don't even understand how Arsenal could have even been linked with this guy.
Someone's job would have been on the line. Someone's job would have been on the line. No, but bro, like, you can't spend that amount of money. You can't have that outlay. And it makes me wonder. It's like, we just listened to Marley Miles speak about how Man United's under the cosh. And Chelsea are getting away with bloody murder every single week. It is not on. And they're meant to be a big team. Arsenal couldn't get away with that. I don't even think Newcastle could get away with that, bro.
They could, not now. Because Newcastle...
You see with Man United...
Bro, I reckon if Newcastle was moving how Chelsea's moving, you're going to be getting people calling for Eddie Howe's job.
If they'd made all the signings and they're moving how they were moving,
But Chelsea are getting away with it.
But the difference is
definitely are.
The difference is the way the clubs are structured. I think Eddie Howe has a big say on the signings, and I think if the way recently we've been, I mean, the episode from the last podcast was players out, ETH. What was it?
Not ethical.
So I think we can see where ETH deserves some leeway, but I don't think we can see where Poch deserves leeway, because I think he's in a worse situation than ETH, because obviously we acknowledge how bad the Man United board is. Chelsea got a brand new owner who's just doing unheard of transfer activities, spending money here and there.
But are the players bad? That's the question.
No, but it's not about whether the players are bad, because like it all cascades from the top, like in terms of how the club's ethics and attitudes are. We've seen how it's affecting Man United, and I think we're seeing how it's affecting Chelsea now as well. Because we can sack Poch now and we can get another manager in, and then it's going to be the exact same thing, because it happened with Potter as well.
I heard that.
But yeah, it happened with Potter, but with a completely different team. So now you've got a brand new team almost.
No, it's the same thing though, man.
But yes,
neither of them chose the guys.
But can you blame? Okay, but with the players, what I'm trying to ask,
the players should be doing better.
Yeah,
100%.
And I feel like, shouldn't you be able to get some sort of tune? Like,
definitely.
Are you losing? Why are you losing 2-0 to Everton? You've just lost to United.
Was it at home? Who was?
It was away.
They were away.
But you see that, and I said that against when they lost at Newcastle. That team is very young, and there's some grounds that you're going to go to where you need the senior experience, or you need experience. And Chelsea's team is very young. So if you're going to St James's Park, or you're going to Everton's grounds, what's that ground called again?
Goodison.
If you're getting Goodison, if you're not on it, and it's a Sean Dyche team, so you know he's bullying you. I don't care if you're small, I'm pushing your face. If ref doesn't book me, I'm going to do it again. So I didn't watch again, I can imagine he probably just got bullied. And they didn't have the experience that, guys, compose yourself.
Like you said, the same for Newcastle, and the most experienced guy obviously is
Thiago, and he's 37 or 30.
But the rest of the guys, they don't even have like Premier League experience, let alone senior football experience.
But when you guys have all gotten to United, a lot of the time, especially Eric Ten Hag, a lot of the time is, what's the identity? But
the difference is,
I can see that at Chelsea. I can see how he's trying to play.
I'm not going to say I can see it, but I'm saying the difference is it's only 16 games in for Chelsea. For Ten Hag, this is second half of his season. Season 1.5.
Okay.
So by now, based on the fact that you had a good season, a relatively good season, you're meant to build on from that, but you seem like they've gone backwards. And you've gone backwards, we still don't know your identity.
I agree with you, but I think 16 games is enough for you to be able to see something back.
No, I can see things with Chelsea.
Definitely.
I can see things with Chelsea.
Can you?
Yeah, you can see that they're trying to play and
Wait, what?
I
You can see Chelsea.
I can see more of an identity with Chelsea than a United.
You see the Man United game. Like I could see how Chelsea were structuring their attacks and playing through the middle, and obviously it was going to Modric a couple of times. But I can see if they had a left winger as well, that they would be a much better team. I can see what style of play they're trying to play. Like a lot of the goals that you lot scored were from them trying to play and you lot capitalising on their mistakes. That's not the other way at Man United.
Couldn't you call United a transition team though?
But whether they're a very bad transition team.
But they were a counter-attack team with Solskjaer.
Yeah, but that's the style of play, isn't it?
No, but that's not his style of play.
Okay, you're the United fan. So can you confirm? Is that your style of play?
What with they playing transition?
No, yeah.
I mean, we're playing the counter attack, so probably yeah.
So that's not say probably. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't be seeing yourself.
I mean, if I was going to identify one how the Man United play, we definitely play on the counter attack.
But bro, you just said that's the Man United style of way.
I mean, when I say style of play, as in it was same under Oli, and if it's the same in the case under 10,
that's what I'm saying. It's those guys, because you're supposed to come in and say this is how we play.
Okay.
Like when Klopp came into Liverpool, he said this is how we play.
No, but that's not the argument. The argument isn't 10 doesn't have a style of play. The argument is Man United don't have.
No. It's not about Man United, bro.
Is an argument that you can't see Man United style of play.
No, it's about ETH.
You can't see a style of play from United. We don't know what ETH is trying to do. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
And based on that argument, I'm trying to pivot and use that same argument on Poch. Can you see that same style? Can you see his style of play? What he's trying? Because I can't. I don't know what he's trying to do.
I can see attempts.
So what is he trying to do? Like, what players do you think? What kind of player do you think he needs to go for then? Like when he's asking for these players in Jam,
a better striker.
You
Definitely,
can see they need a striker.
We need a striker.
Yeah,
but to be fair, like from what I thought they had in pre-season, I thought they'll be all right. But then I don't know what's happened. Maybe this Pornstar Chelsea supporter that's fucking with Nicholas Jackson. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I don't know. He's fucking
that idiot in the back of the car, man.
I don't know. He's fucking said, but
yeah, what was she, bruv? She was on a hype, bruv.
I know.
He's huge, bruv.
But I can see what Poch wants from it, because I've seen some of the games where Chelsea have played okay, and I think you were also talking about their defense at one point when I was cussing them as well. But again, like Della said, it's been 16 games, man. And
a lot of injuries as well.
And there's they're not his guys, bro. They're not his guys. So that's why I'm not thinking. But at the same time, he's a manager and his job is to manage.
I think he definitely should be doing better.
Should they, I was going to say,
100%.
should they be, where are they, 12?
100.
Yeah.
12, I looked at the table just now. They are...
It's not good enough, bruv.
Yeah.
So
I think they should be battling for top 6 minimum.
They are 12 with 19 points. Sorry. And Everton are 17 with 13 points, and Everton with 10 points deduction. So Everton should technically be ahead of them.
Okay, but
that's appalling.
So
for me, if they don't finish 6th or above, then you can talk about sacking Poch.
No, I don't think you should sack him either.
No, but you can talk about. I don't think you should. But the whole team, the whole Chelsea, the board, they need to go, bro. They need. I don't know who the director of football is.
But whether he should be sacked or not, because I don't think he should be sacked as well. You know what I mean? I don't even think Ten Hag should be sacked yet. But what I'm saying is, there's just no
critique.
There's no critique. I'm not. Where's the media outrage?
I'm with you, bro.
Yeah.
I hear that.
I hear that.
You know what I mean?
Like, maybe they're just regarded as a small club.
But how?
No, I think it's because of Poch. Poch is obviously clearly he's a darling. Because if you think of unless like Chelsea have like completely changed their strategy from last season, because Potter was doing better than him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think he's statistically doing better than him.
I don't think so.
I promise you,
bro. I think Potter's only wins. I think most of Chelsea's win came last season from Tuchel.
I have a screenshot.
I saw like a graphic about.
Yeah, I think Potter had more points.
Being better off. Sorry.
Let me see.
I think
personally, I wouldn't have sat Potter myself anyway.
But anyway, my point is anyway. Like, have Chelsea changed their strategy then? Because I mean,
Abramovich's gone.
No, as in the sense that Potter got sacked for exactly the same reason, and we're not hearing about anything like Poch being mentioned or being sacked, bruv. So I've changed Chelsea.
But remember how
realised they made a mistake with that decision.
I think they probably did.
Yeah.
The same thing I said with the referee. Sometimes you just got to be agile with your decisions. So we can't keep on doing this.
Yeah.
So you sacked Tuchel, you sacked Potter. Now you're going to sack a third manager and say I've got all these players, make it work.
Because the next person you have to sack is yourself. After you sacked all those guys, bro, it's not working.
Oh, by one game. by one win.
But it doesn't matter, bro. It's just, what? What?
But it's just to show that, if one guy could be under immense pressure.
Yeah.
But in
and he didn't have as many players as this guy.
No, I agree, and plus he didn't have pre-season as well, so that's why I think he needed a chance.
You see
but let me just land this point. So, but the thing is, which is a bit more, it's a bit, I don't know if it's concerning. Poch is maybe he may be the darling, yeah, but Potter's English, and they didn't care for him.
They have their favourites clearly,
bro. I wonder what
bro.
he's doing now, bro. I wonder what he's doing right now. Play FIFA. But I think
Pro clubs.
I think we need to the kind of sentiment about the signings that they have. I think these signings are turning out to be a curse rather than a gift, bro, because it's just a financial burden that's on top of your head for players that you don't want.
Yeah.
And you don't even know what to do with, bro. Because like Caicedo, I'm sure that if this guy could, bro, you'd probably phone Ramirez to come out of retirement and come back and play in the middle for them, bro.
Bro, most of their signings, bro, I'll be honest, you don't know them unless you're playing Football Manager regularly. Bro.
Yeah.
Because some of
them are good, though.
They may come
some of them are good, but like in terms of like, I used to play like FIFA, like Football Manager back in the day, like religiously, and I used to know about everyone that's getting signed.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of these Chelsea brothers.
I knew Badishile.
He's good.
That's the only guy I knew from
Monaco.
But Dazassi looks good as well, bro.
He does.
They look from Monaco.
It looks.
I
They
didn't know
look
Dazassi
aggressive.
was from Monaco.
They look very, very aggressive.
Yeah, he's good, man. I like him, man.
Like if they didn't have all and most of the players injured, defensively they're okay. They got Fofana.
I don't know about this Fofana, guys.
But I think he's okay. He's an okay Premiership defender.
But then they had the other guy from who they got from Juventus who went back. They had him on loan last season. And I think he's at Mönchengladbach now.
A defender?
No, midfielder. Zakaria.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So like this is another like decent player who they've just brought in and then...
No, I think he was on loan. He was on loan.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of signings, they definitely need a creative midfielder.
Yeah, Enzo.
And a striker, because right now that midfield is unbalanced. You've got Conor Gallagher and Caicedo. Caicedo is not, for me, he's a bit like Kante. He's not a DM. He just breaks up play, so you probably play him a bit further up. And so that's, they're a bit all over the place. But
their keepers are also like
Sanchez, come on,
to be fair, someone like them should like go in for De Gea.
Ramsdale.
No, De Gea, bro. He's available.
Oh, yeah, on loan. I mean, just do it.
Yeah, because if you're playing like a back five, technically, because they play three with the wingers or whatever, wing backs, you can afford to have a goalkeeper that doesn't play.
100%. He'll be perfect for them. He'll actually be perfect for them. But we need a goalkeeper too, so De Gea, think about it.
Let's move on to the final. The final game. So Newcastle 1, Spurs 4, and Newcastle coming into this game off the back of a 3-0 defeat to Everton. When Draymond asked me last week what I think was going to happen, I thought Newcastle were going to beat Everton and they're going to lose to Spurs. I thought like they've played with the same team for 5 games in a row, and they were just going to get burned out. So I wasn't surprised that they lost, but that's a manner of the defeats. And I don't know if you guys watched the games, but against Everton, 2 mistakes from Trippier, and they capitalised. Then they scored the 3rd goal. And the Spurs game, the game yesterday, I didn't really watch it, to be honest. 2
mistakes from Trippier.
Again.
Trippier got ripped.
He's been having a nightmare.
Yeah.
I think Son ripped him and
Son had him dancing, bro. I was in tears, bro.
In Charleston.
Yeah.
So for the first 2 goals.
So the first goal, Son ripped him. And I think the second, he got ripped again on the second goal as well.
I think it was both him, The second was obviously more of a visible whip. Because he done the Matrix.
Do you know what? This is off the back. Do you listen to Ria's podcast?
Oh, yeah.
This is off the back of Joe Dyer.
Hold tight, Joel.
What did they say?
He said that Trippier is...
better than Gary Neville.
I saw his point.
But you said it was way better than Gary Neville.
Yeah. And since then, Trippier's been having stinkers.
Been holding corn, bro.
Wait, you agree with that?
What's that?
That Trippier is better than Gary Neville?
I don't agree with that.
Oh, okay.
No, hell no.
Why not?
Do you?
Gary Neville was a great right back, bro. Obviously
defensively,
So let's talk about it. As in defensively, all rounder.
Well, I want my right back to be a defender, innit? Like,
that's not true.
Huh?
Because
it wasn't. When I said that, I was like, this isn't true, Marlon, but you gotta land it anyway.
I had to call that move.
No, but as a defender, back in it. Well, that's not good enough for you guys, no?
Okay, I know he's a United legend, but I don't think what Joe Bear said was mad.
It wasn't. It was very, very living in it now, I would say.
No, but
and it's forgetful for years and years and years of consistency that Gary Neville has done.
I know he's consistent, but you don't think Trippier could have done what he was doing?
But how many times
I don't think so.
Been like,
You don't think he could overlap and
No, I'm not talking about overlapping. I'm talking about the defensive. Because you have to bear in mind, United had, back in the days, we used to play with right midfielders. Nobody really plays with right midfielders. Everybody's a right winger, innit?
Yeah.
So when you have a right midfielder, your need for an attacking defender isn't as much as it is today, innit?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think he would have necessarily been a better right back in the day than Gary Neville.
In a world where right backs had to do a lot more attacking, I feel like Gary Neville, being the neak he is, would have come.
No, but
I don't think he would have made it in the
very
game.
basic. So the question I need to ask. So let's talk about errors. So do you think Trippier could have been successful in Gary Neville's era?
They were playing.
Let's say in that Man United team. Do you think Trippier could have slotted into that team?
Oh no, to be fair, because maybe not. He wouldn't have been needed. We got to have David Beckham.
I don't think so, man.
No, but so you don't. No,
he would have been able to fit in for sure.
Yeah.
But for what we value him for, being obviously don't put set pieces.
Yeah, of course you got someone else.
He wouldn't have had that joy, bro.
No, but he's more than set pieces.
So then he would have just been the bog
He would have
standard.
just bog standard right back, bro. That hardly can defend, bro, and get ripped, bro.
No, but I think it's only recent. But Liverpool and Newcastle have one of the best defensive records in the Prem, and it's only the last 2 games that Trippier's been getting ripped.
Hey man, you're only as good as your last game.
True that.
Last 2, bro.
But yeah, so those are the 2 goals. So what was the other 2? I know Richarlison scored one, and then Son scored a penalty, right? Was it a penalty?
Yeah, Son scored a penalty. He got 2 assists. Richarlison scored the other 2.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the first one? Was Son assist?
First one was Son assist. The other one was Poro crossing it into Richarlison.
Wasn't that the third one?
No,
was that the third one?
I saw that goal.
But Son put the ball in the box for the second one as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So 2 goals and 1 assist. But you know what?
It was 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1.
4-1.
So he scored 1 goal and 2 assists for Son. So I came in and I saw the scoreline. It was like 3-0. And I've got, in my fantasy team, I've got Lascelles. Then I recently brought in Dubravka, and since then he ships in 7 goals. And all I was hoping for was that Son needed to score because he's in my team. So yeah, as soon as I saw he was in the scoreline, I was like, yeah, this is made.
He had a good game.
Fantasy football is nuts this season, isn't it?
I told you, bro. This is just follow my lead, dog.
Bro, if I'd ever had so much peas on it, honestly, I looked for the delete. I swear, this week I nearly deleted my team because I was gonna put Cunha in my team and Cunha, sorry.
Cunha.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, bro. They're trying, bro. They're trying. I know what you mean, bro.
I don't got pronunciation issues. I was going to put him in my team.
I didn't actually hear it.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Everton defender, Mikalenko.
He's had a
okay.
Yeah, so I was going to put him in our team and then leave Salah in there. But then I said literally last minute, I was watching a little and doing her swimming. I said, you know what? I need to get Haaland back in there. Like,
You took him out of your team or you had him on your bench?
No, he's been out of my team for a minute. So I was like, is it this week or next week? I said, you know what? I'm going to put him in my team and I'm going to make him captain.
That's Libby's, bruv. Because he still costs like 16 points, bruv. Or something stupid.
So you know what I had to do? I had to take Salah out because I'm thinking Salah hasn't really got a good record against Crystal Palace. I did the head-to-head. I went on Flash Score. I proper did research. So I said, I'm going to take Salah out. I'll put Haaland in. Instead of Cunha, I'll put Huang Chi in there. Wow.
Is that his name?
Excuse the racism. But you know what I'm trying to...
Huang Chi, you know?
Hold on. Again, you know who I'm talking about, yeah?
Huang Chi.
My bad. Yo, my bad, guys. My bad. So yeah, bro, I had an absolute nightmare, bro. I had like 8 points after like a Saturday of football, bro.
But since I've been
minus 4 points. I had 4 points, bro.
Minus 4 points, sorry.
For the subs.
Because I did 3 subs, bro.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Since I've been, when you talk about your team on the podcast, I'm just listening. I'm like, you're making schoolboy errors. Like, first and foremost, you don't take out Haaland. Because he's going to be expensive to bring back in because he's going to keep on going. So his price is just going to get
I've
more
got
and more.
gamble because you know what it is with like the points difference isn't that much. It's like maybe 30-40 between like in let's say the podcast Pundits fantasy football league for instance. Yeah, I'm like 30 something at the moment. Yeah, but between 30 something and like maybe 10th, but there's probably like 60 points in it. Like even you're like in the top 10, I think.
Thanks.
Hold tight, you.
Yeah. And so between
I'm doing it for us guys.
How many?
But between Della Strada
How
and
many's
Oh,
in
no,
there?
I'm fourth.
there's like 40 something.
Okay.
Or maybe 48.
Oh,
So what, you're fourth?
Yeah.
But I imagine
49.
so it's 49. So he's fourth,
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
And the points difference between Della Strada and myself is probably like 120. That sounds a lot, but I'm telling you, with a good little run, bro, like you can.
No. Because at this point, most people have the same similar players. So unless you've got one,
So no,
you can't make out that 100 points gap.
So this is you literally just, that's my point. So I have to take gambles. So
Calculated gambles.
I'm
then.
trying.
Well
man,
done
but-
for putting Cunha in there.
No, because I took him out, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I had him in there, and then I decided not to go with him. And then I had a nightmare, bro. I ended on like 44 for the week or 43 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Well, that was because of Son.
Before we get completely sidetracked, does anyone have anything to say about Spurs?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, obviously they're missing Maddison, but they're all right, man. I think
like
they're all right. I think they play good football, man. It was a good game to watch, man. I was obviously like Richarlison getting on goals made me angry because I think that guy's so dead, bro, man. And when dead people score, bro, it hurts my soul, you know.
You know what? I had fun laughing at him, but I actually, it's just weird to say, but I was a little bit happy for
Right,
him.
he had determination in his eyes, innit, bro?
Yeah, man. He needed to get some goals in there, man. So obviously seeing Maddison watching on made me smile.
Yeah.
Just because I know that there's still more pain to come for Tottenham.
exactly.
But bro, like Son is he's sick.
But yeah, I wanted to ask you, Della, what's going for Newcastle, boy, man? Like, how are you feeling about Newcastle?
I was thinking.
As
I was thinking. Did we move
Newcastle
on from that?
correspondent.
What's your question?
Like, what's how are you feeling for the season? Because obviously Strav's given how he feels for Arsenal. You support Newcastle, I think.
Yeah. How do I feel about the season? I feel they're doing well.
Yeah.
They are, considering their current position in terms of their
Where are they in the league?
injuries. I think they're fifth, or I don't know. Actually, let me check.
So if Newcastle finish
No,
in
Newcastle.
Europa,
Oh, shit, they're seventh.
Yeah, I
But-
saw they were.
They're seventh, but they're only 1 point behind United, and 9 points behind fourth place Man City. I think they're doing well, and I think their squads are that big, and they are avid to be in the Champions League as well. So when they get players back, I think they are good enough to probably get top 6. They may not qualify for Champions League again,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think them qualifying for Champions League this season or last season, sorry, was ahead of schedule. So as long as they stay in Europe and then they continue to build, then yeah.
if United's having such a crisis, in your point behind United, I just question you saying that you think they're doing good, because I feel like
Because Newcastle are not Newcastle. Let's be real. Newcastle, they may have the money, but right now they shouldn't even be competing with all these teams right now.
Why do you say that?
Because player for player, I don't feel like they are. They're not in the same league as Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
But are they in the same league
Like-
as United?
Yeah, I think they are. But
So that because that's where I'm hitting you with it, because I think if you were to put a qualification in United season, I don't think you'd say they're having a very good season.
no, but this is the point I'm making. Yeah,
United didn't have a crisis, though, by the way.
Newcastle. Like,
United ain't having a crisis, by the way. It's blown up. We're losing a lot of games, and we're not drawing any. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I agree with that. But then I think some people would say you are having a crisis, and I was trying to pivot to ask Della if he would say United's having a crisis.
Okay, so let me qualify your question. So I've never said United are in crisis, right?
I don't think you have.
Okay, so for me, I think where United want to be, they are below it.
Mm-hmm.
Where Newcastle want to be, I think they're on track.
Okay.
Because last season they were ahead of schedule. So now this season, they are where, based on where they should be in terms of they've got the money, but in terms of their player acquisition, they haven't done a Chelsea. If you look at their squad, there's the likes of Gordon that certain people don't rate.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes, but obviously he's injured. Tonali injured.
Yeah.
Longstaff injured. But if you look at their team, it's not made up of like superstars. So I think, and I said it last week or even the week before when Newcastle will be United. Newcastle are what United, I think, want to be in terms of having that structure and having the support of a manager or the manager has the support from the board to bring in the players that he wants in his own identity. And the players that he's bringing in make a lot more sense than the players like maybe ETH is bringing in, because a lot of the players that ETH has brought in he's not using them, but he's using the players that he wanted to send out or sell. So there's so the thing for United is the lack of cohesion amongst the whole club, which is obviously impacting everyone at the club. And there is no identity from the club all the way down to even on the pitch, to the extent that you don't know the style of play. Whereas with Newcastle, you know their identity. And right now, that's why I knew they were going to lose against Spurs, because they literally run till it hurts. And you can't do that 5 games in a row. And the way the game's coming thick and thin, it's only a matter of time before they just fell off. Yeah. So where they are, I'm cool with it.
I think we've got Longstaff and we've got Wilson coming back as well. So hopefully that would we should see a little bit more squad rotation.
No, but even with Wilson, it's like he'll get injured in 2 games.
Yeah. You should be able to turn down Champions League participation, because I knew this would happen to Newcastle though.
But it's happening to everyone though. Look at Brighton.
Yeah, exactly. But I said that about Brighton as well in my predictions for the season. But I think in just the impact, obviously you're getting the money, so like it's a.
But you have to do it though. As in, like,
you should have just said Liverpool, who came like 1 point behind.
No, but like it's the experience, right? So now maybe Howe may not be around when Newcastle hit the promised land, but at least some players may still be there. The club may still have experiences. So yeah, and
obviously, like you said, the PSG and who they got. It's AC Milan, isn't it?
AC.
Yeah.
But if you don't win that game, does that do anything?
I think if we win and PSG lose or draw,
okay.
I think PSG have to lose, but I don't feel
Dortmund are through, or
Dortmund are through.
Okay,
Dortmund are through. Yeah. So let's wrap it up there, guys. I think we've covered quite a lot on this episode. But as usual, come to the end. Let's do our back pages. So listeners, this is where we shine light on players, managers, and teams that have done well this season. This weekend. Anybody want to go first?
I'll go Son.
Son.
Yeah, Son. He done well. I didn't think he was going to step into that captain responsibility as well as he has, and he's doing his thing. He's carrying that team. So yeah, well done for you.
I'm going to give mine to Cesc Fabregas. He's taken over Como. And I think in their last 4 games they've won 3 and drawn 1, and they're looking like they're heading towards promotion for Serie A, and I think that's a decent achievement, man. I think that's a very good achievement. I think he had the clout to be managing at a higher level, and I like that he's started quite low and he's learning. He
took the right approach. Not people like Gerrard and Lampard.
No, man, he owns the team, bro, man.
No.
Put yourself in.
He's got states in it.
But it's still division, it's still lower division, isn't it?
The European managers, I feel like they go the long way. They make sure that they've got the ability. The English managers feel like they're shortcuts, bro.
Yeah,
definitely.
Jerry?
Yeah, mine is Kieran McKenna, Ipswich manager. He's had a good ascent, got promoted from League One into Championship, and now he's second in the league, man. So
Manchester United thing so tight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, where was he? He didn't play there though. He was
in the coach.
Under 18s.
He was a coach.
Yeah. So I think Tottenham can claim him.
Yeah, it was well regarded as well. It's really good. Him and Carrick.
Yeah.
Mine will be James McAtee. He scored a very good goal for Sheffield United. But I've just been hearing his name a lot, and I've been watching him close, and he's actually quite good.
He violated Man United still.
He's a good player. Man City boy, right?
Yeah,
he's good.
Yeah. Right, guys. Thank you for listening. Listeners, we'll be back again next week. Over and out.